Hi, this is Josh with again my update of the Groundfloor trading app. I started with $1,000 a little more than a year ago, and decided that I would stay with my $1,000 investment for one whole year and see if the app gave the promised return of approximately 10% on average for investing with Groundfloor. Here we have the Groundfloor website. And as you can see here, I currently have a cash on hand of $52 from repayments. And my money that's invested around the country is $980. And the total value, realized value, is $1,032.14. So what that means is, in terms of the loan repayments, at this point in time, I have a 3.2% return on investment. In other words, I've gained $32.14. Let's look at those repayments. As you can see here, over the course of the past little more than 12 months, I've had 29 repayments from around the country. And here's a list of them. As you can see, most of this time I'm investing $20, sometimes $40, so depending on, there's large, right, there's $100. But as you can see, there's varying loan rates, but the blended rate is certainly above 10%. They have it here. Oh, they have it here on the right. So the expected rate was 10.1, and so they're saying the actual blended rate when I was repaid was 10.1% for a total of $32.14. If I go to my spreadsheet here on my school drive at Teachers College, you can see here that this is the list of the properties that I'm currently invested in. Wait, I should have a first column. Here. So I'm currently investing in 27 properties. You can see a lot of them are in Florida and Georgia, but also Maryland, along the eastern seaboard mostly. But there's also Nevada and Texas as well, and Alabama. You can see here the days that the loan here has been overdue since my money's been put at work. So since I've invested, I calculated that the daily earnings, if I invest $20, is a little bit more than half a penny every day that my money is working for every $20. So if I invest $20 and the loan was supposed to be, say, this one that's in default was supposed to be repaid on January 1st, 2022, it's over a year overdue. That means that this loan was supposed to be repaid 460 days ago. So if you multiply that by, say, a half penny, that means that I'm currently owned per day, that is. That means that I'm currently owned about $2.30 extra from this loan, along with the expected earnings of 47 cents when the property is, when the renovations are completed. Some of them are new purchases. Most of them are like buy, renovate, and then flip is the idea in a decent neighborhood, like a house that was put on the block for whatever reason, and then needs a few upgrades, and then is flipped and then sold to the market. That's most of the situations of these 27 properties. You can see here the ones that, like, I invested $100 in, these ones that look very good, like the neighborhoods look good, and they were near schools and malls, and according to the Google Maps, that would be 5 times a half penny, so about 2.5 cents per day on these. And you can see that that does add up to, say here, this is almost $10. I'm out on this one, almost $10 at a half cent each, because that's multiplied by 5. But what I'll do is scroll down now to what that means in terms of all the days overdue from all 27 properties. Since it's 980, that's actually 49 per day. But these are the total number of days, 16,386 working days. So that translates to another $89.79 I'm owed. For example, if all 27 property managers pay me back today at this rate, no more, no less, I would have another $89 in realized gains. So the portfolio really is at 12%. In other words, if everything were to close out and all promises were kept, I would have an extra $121, so a little more than 12% actually. Even though I've only seen $32 come back to me, that's what's owed to me. And it's been about 14 months now since I started just before the new year, really, with the $1,000 in late 2021. So not bad. What I have to do is I promised I'd stay with it for another year, maybe see how long it'll take for example, these properties that keep going into default, because they have to one way or another be repaid. If they see them in court, then they have to lose their collateral, and then Groundfloor will cash in on that and then repay the investors, because the investors have to be repaid one way or the other. Either the property is sold on the market and they find a good buyer in the real estate market, or whatever collateral they have has to be returned to Groundfloor, and then those values should be returned to the investors. So I'm going to stay with it for one more year. The money is safe there, still awaiting my repayments. We roll down to the actual repayments. You can see that what's encouraging is, well, first of all, I've had, I try and go with the same property managers if possible, the companies that are repaying me. So in Florida, I pretty much work with the same 2 or 3 property managers. I've had 7 repayments. In Georgia, I look for houses managed by the property managers that have repaid me 5 times already. In Michigan, 2, in Texas, 3. And then other homes that look really good, like they're in decent neighborhoods, exploring Google Maps around the country. So I've currently been repaid in the 16 of the 48 mainland states. And I've also invested into 22 of the 48 states from the East Coast to West Coast. So let's see, my current holdings are still mostly from those property managers in Georgia and Florida. And you can see there's also Alabama, Pennsylvania, and Virginia. A lot of what's offered is along the Eastern Seaboard. When I am repaid, as you can see here, often you get a few cents more, which is the other thing that's encouraging. So for example, the last 5 repayments, I was supposed to be a 9-month job. This one closed out early. Maybe it was, they reneged on it. So it was only 0.2 of a month. So I was only repaid 6 cents. Then I just moved the money to an investment. This one was 10 months. This one was in default. It was overdue. And these last two in default have returned 10% and 11.3%, as you can see here. So I calculated according to the days overdue from when they were supposed to be repaid, and that's in this column here. And it was, of these 29 repayments, 5,334 working days overdue. So according to my metric, I was supposed to be repaid $29.23. But thankfully, the property managers and Groundfloor rounded up. They rounded like to the nearest month. So each one is a few extra cents more, and it really did add up and to $32.14. So more than $2 more, right? Almost $3 more than if they just did the day count like with the computer. Also, I don't know if it's a courtesy by the brokers or design, but as you can see here, a lot of the rates that were listed as 10% when repaid, including the ones that were in default, the ones that were overdue, I was repaid 10.8%, 10.3%, as you can see scrolling down here. I was supposed to be paid at 11%. They gave me 11.2 instead. And that really does add up and contribute to these default loans for an actual profit that's just a few cents higher for each property. It's been a while since I've updated, and I haven't even logged on since September because I was very discouraged with the way the actual stock market was working and real estate, and but decided that I would at least hold on to this for a year. So I've had 2 repayments, as you can see, on these dates. My first one this year was on was 2 weeks ago on January 30th. I won in December, but you can see this large gap. Like I was concerned in June when I logged on, I wasn't repaid for 6 weeks, like this gap here between property 16 and 17. But then after August, after Labor Day, there was like nothing, even until I remember getting ready for holiday and Christmas shopping for family and friends, and nothing. And then on the 22nd, I got a text that one of the loans was repaid. So again, a little discouraging here, but it's matching the properties and the repayments I'm supposed to get. So we'll see as the economy continues here how this goes, but I'm going to try it for one more year. Let's go back to Groundfloor so I can show you what I'm going to do here. Because of those repayments, I now have $52.14 that I can reinvest. So I'll show you what I'll do. I'm going to go to the investments page. And usually I'll look at the rates. But I'll want to do an investment that's at least 10%. And like I said, the ones down in Florida have been pretty good in terms of repaying me. So let me look at, for example, this loan. It's a C grade loan, and in Weirsdale, Florida, or also I know the ones in Jacksonville have been paying me back. So maybe I'll look at that one too. But let's look at this one first. What I usually do is I look at the property and the lot, and it looks, you can see there's a patch here, and it doesn't look the photo doesn't look too great. Looks like an old shack. It would need a lot of work. And I'm looking at the it's Hall Tech Investments. And so they have had 2 loans funded, and Matthew Hall has already repaid 1 project, and that's his historical average. So he is known here on Groundfloor. But I'm looking at the miscellaneous and notes. And it looks like a before and after repair value. And usually there's a note on what's going on. It's a purchase and renovation of this property. There's 5 days left. What I'll do is I'll go to Google Maps. I'm just going to quickly look at the neighborhood here. Maybe we can even go street side and do like a Google 360, because it's really excellent here that we can do this. And can I collapse? Wait, I can expand this way, right? So if I can zoom out here, what's nice about Google Maps as well is I can click like nearby, and just looking at the Google Maps here, this is from June of 2022. There's a local mall that's not too far from this property, and it's near US 27. Again, I'll try and zoom out. But what I'm looking for also is, well, what else is there in the neighborhood that might be of interest to me that I want to invest here? Oh, it's near Oakland Hills. There's, you might want a small house here if you're affiliated with this golf center. And this looks like planned homes. The Hacienda Hills Golf Country Club is here. So it looks like, this looks like a circle here. But I'm also looking for other things other than, say, you're just hopping around. This looks like the Walmart back lot here. There's a Lowe's. But I can see that the cars are pretty modern, and that there is a community with, say, churches and schools in the neighborhood. But I'm also looking to see, well, like where it's close to. Let's see, can I zoom out? I can't zoom out again. All right, 1547 Hancock. Like, where am I close to in terms of other major cities? So let me click on it one more time. If I can zoom out and see where I'm close to. Oh, so they're northwest of Orlando, maybe an hour away, I guess. I see, of Orlando, Florida, between Orlando and Jacksonville. Leesburg, not far from Gainesville. All right. All right, again, looking at the property, I'm really not that impressed. So I think I'm going to skip this one. I'm going to try another one to invest. So let's go back to investment opportunities and maybe this one here on Baptist Lane. So going back to Jacksonville, I've had some repayments, I believe, in Jacksonville, Florida. If I look down here at these other properties, let's see, 32208. All right, the borrower was in advance money and needed to purchase the property on November 8th. Holding a Groundfloor possession of the property if it's fully subscribed, Groundfloor will continue administer service. Renovation is expensive and therefore subject to delays. The renovation will file permitting. Permits may not be obtained or may be denied. The event of default, the property will trigger default on all Groundfloor notes secured by this property. Groundfloor charge borrowers between 2 cents per loan for our services. You spread on the interest payments. All right, again, I'm not familiar with this name here, but this house looks like, even though it's a little bit dilapidated, it looks like, and looking at the grounds, they're not very well kept. It looks like Jacksonville might be a better idea to invest here. So if we click on the property, oh, it's not in that bad shape. It's got grounds. It's not really a paved road leading up to the property. The trees and grounds look a bit unkept. But if we, again, zoom out, what's promising here is it's a lot closer to the St. Johns River. So it might be more desirable property as long as I'm worried about the trees, worried about the impact of like if it's at risk for weathering and weather with floods and hurricane season, if it's an at-risk house. So if it's a renovate due to that. So just north of Jacksonville City, all right, I kind of like this location. There's Atlantic Beach and Neptune Beach in sort of north of the Gulf. All right, so what I'll do is I'm gonna look one more time at investors. Turn 4,000, it's 266 total. All right, this one's a maybe. I'm gonna close out the Anderson one and maybe Baptist. Let's go down to Atlanta. This one looks nicer. Or Lamplight Circle. This one looks much nicer. All right, so here up in Maryland, this is a nice home. No, it's in Massachusetts, excuse me. 10 Lamplight Circle in Natick, Massachusetts. All right, not outside of Boston, it's near Wellesley. So, there are a lot of colleges and universities locally, I suppose. Let me zoom in more. Framingham, MathWorks. Massachusetts Turnpike is not far. Very close to a nice mall here. Trader Joe's. Babson College. Yeah, Boston, Beantown's a big college town. There's Boston College here. Wellesley Hospital. Trader Joe's, Brandeis University. All right, I'm going with Beantown here. All right, so I'm going to invest in this one. Here. It's a first lane. And again, based on the money that I've been repaid, I'll invest $40, $50, $10 increments, authorizing Groundfloor. And then my money is reinvested for this commitment. All right, here we go. Okay, so I invested in a single family home in Natick, Massachusetts, 10 Lamplight Circle Road, just to the west of Boston, Beantown. And there again, it's very well known for its colleges and stuff. And it's not far from the city proper and not far from a lot of it looks like a decent neighborhood, and it looks like a good investment. So now if we go back to my account and look at the overview, the activity, it should come up soon enough that my cash on hand is now $2.14, and my money at work in various investments is now 1,030. Okay, so it's compounding, and for a grand total portfolio value of $1,032 realized. But due to the expected earnings, here's the conservative estimate of $74. That would put me over the 10% now based on these expected earnings. But the expected earnings are a bit different than what I have for here on my Columbia Drive, but now I need to update it. Oh, where it's not listed. Maybe it's on the next page. Oh, there it is, 10 Lamplight Circle. And so what I'll do is I'll copy and paste this. How am I gonna do this? Right to left, I guess. So now I'll add this, and now I have insert row below. And there it is. One more time. And this one also is in Massachusetts. Hold just a second. Should say 50. Why doesn't it say 50? Performing 15-month expected term. Performance performing, expected earnings 4.79. Oh, I put it in the wrong place. There it is. Okay. And since it's an investment that's over $20, I'll also highlight it in orange so that I can see this one. And this one's starting on 2/12/2023. I don't have the start dates updated. They should be here. They're pretty good on starting it when the collective loan is matures on 9/2. Funded started on 6/3/22. Okay. That's Henderson, Nevada. So maybe that's why it's a little bit more when I'm actually no, it's more than this actually when we're actually repaid, but they usually are pretty honest to this start date. And then this one that I invested in here is 613 North Franklin Avenue in Kansas. 613 North Franklin Avenue in Kansas. And that one is funded. It started on 4/29/22 officially. It was funded on 9/28. 4/29/22. Matures on 7/28/23. Matures on 9/02/23. Have that down? Yeah, they're there. Okay. This one's double, so the day count needs to be doubled. Okay. All right, and the 30. Okay, so this is just how I update the portfolio each time. This line needs to go because there you have it. So I added one more property for a total portfolio value. It should say 1030 here. I don't know why it doesn't. Here 31, but it says 1050, which means that I didn't delete one of the properties that I just repaid. Sorry, Morrison Street Origin 2611. I think it's that one. So this one was repaid, so it has to be taken off the list. It was number 8. All right, there it is. Oh, now I gotta do this. Okay. So it's 27 properties and has the proper total investment here of $1,030. The projected earnings, again, conservative here on my end, it's a total of $62.95, actually, not the 74 that they said. But according to the current day count of the ones that are in default, maybe these were adjusted because they're the ones in default, I should be repaid an extra $91.41 according to these maturity dates. And then the amount that I'm overdue. So that means that bringing the total value of my portfolio is still at 12.3% because the new one that I just did today is at a day count of 0. All right, so I hope you enjoyed this this tour again of the Groundfloor trading app and how I track my properties and decide how to invest and just keep reinvesting the money as the repayments are made. Hopefully the frequency of repayments will improve this year. If they don't, for example, if the number is lower than this year, then that's it. I'm not going to invest more money into it. I was thinking that if I really got 10%, if I saw it like for the return on investment, it was actually actualized, that I would up it to like a $5,000 investment. But they're just not being returned. They're not being completed. And as you can see, most of the properties are in default. In conclusion, let's go to like number 1, the one that was overdue, 5512 Carville. So you can look at the notes here. So here are my investments. So that's this first one. So here's one that I have at 5512 Carville, Halethorpe, Maryland, Aladetohun Acquisition 01 LLC principal. So I've worked a few times with this person, and we can see here that the notes are forthcoming here since November. Foreclosure proceedings are ongoing. The borrower advised that they're currently in the process of refinancing Groundfloor for foreclosure action. December 10th, foreclosure proceedings are ongoing. Groundfloor requests an update the borrower regarding exit strategy to advise further foreclosure action. And then 110 this year, so about a month ago, per foreclosure counsel, a foreclosure sale date is being scheduled. Okay, so that was a month ago. Let's look at the top 3. Last thing, 1669 Highland Falls is 447 days overdue. It was supposed to be repaid exactly a year ago this date. 2/12/22 is the maturity, according to this. So how's the date count? 447 days if it's year to year. Oh, because the start date. The start date was in November. Excuse me. It's relative to the start date, not the maturity date. Okay, so let's go to the second one. 1669 High Falls Road. A Tuesday investment, John Clark, I've been repaid before, down in Atlanta, Georgia, is fully funded. The last notes, current notes for this year, requested update from FC attorney on status of scheduled foreclosure date. A foreclosure sale is scheduled for February 7th. That was last week. Please keep in mind sales dates are subject to change. The property real estate owned and Groundfloor has assigned an agent to secure and prepare the home for marketing. All right, so that's encouraging that hopefully that will be repaid soon. So there you can see that last one, I go to 265 Pecan Street. I remember looking at this property and going around the roads to make sure it was near some nice, my investments. Where'd that go? Lastly, if we go to 265 Pecan Street, what are their notes? There is a note for this year. See the last note, there was a dearth of information after Labor Day. The borrower's advised inspections are in process. All right, here it sounded good because it says the borrower is advised that the property is vandalized. Window replacement permits have been applied for and other repairs are in progress. Once complete, the borrower intends to refinance the ground floor loan. So that was on 1/31/2023. Window damage. After the new year. All right, so there's a few examples how you can read the bullet points to see what the progress is. Getting repaid. That's a $100 investment there down in Florida. All right, I'm going to sign off for now. But again, keep in mind I have $1,000 locked in place here in Groundfloor. The current supposed value, if everyone repaid me back, would be about a gain of 12% after 14 months with $1,000 down. I get repaid, once in a while. Sometimes they roll in within a week. I get, like you can see here in June, I got five or six repayments. But last February, I had 1, 2, 3, 4 repayments, and I haven't had one yet. All right, and it's almost halfway through February. So if the repayment starts to slow down, like let's see, last year I had number 4, number 5. So 24 repayments last year. If I don't have 24 repayments this year, I'm not going to invest more money, and I'll just start taking the money, moving out, and moving it maybe to a mutual fund or something related to real estate, but maybe being a person that actually rents out the apartments, being part of those pools that are also guaranteed money. It's just a little frustrating to see everything go into default here. When I look at my investment portfolio and it all says default, default, default here on the first page, or extended loans, default, extended loan default. And anyway, I'm going to stay with it. Maybe the real estate market will change, but thanks for watching me. And there it is, a 3.2% return. We're actually received the cash back after 1 year. And the value of the loan after about 14 months, a little more, is about 12%. Okay, that's the bottom line. Is my money has grown by, according to the projected portfolio value, if everyone pay me back, about 12.3%. All right, thanks for watching. I'll keep you posted, and have a nice day. Bye-bye.